The courtroom was silent in the way only a room filled with tension could be. Heavy, suffocating, like the air itself was holding its breath. Every seat was occupied, every pair of eyes fixed on the front where Officer Maya Carter stood, her posture straight, her uniform immaculate, her presence unshaken. She wasn't just any officer. She was military police, decorated, disciplined, and known for her calm under pressure. But today, she wasn't here as an enforcer. She was here as a witness. Across the room sat Daniel Hargrove, a man whose reputation had already preceded him. Former contractor, well-connected, arrogant in the way only someone protected for too long could be. He leaned back in his chair with a smirk that hadn't faded since the trial began, as if the entire proceeding was beneath him. But Maya wasn't watching him. She was focused on the judge, waiting for the signal. "Officer Carter, you may proceed." Her voice, when she spoke, was steady, controlled, precise. She detailed the incident, an illegal arms exchange, intercepted communications, and the moment Hargrove's operation had been uncovered. She spoke like someone who had relived this moment 100 times, every detail locked in place. No hesitation, no doubt. But then something shifted. At first, it was subtle, a whisper among the spectators, a slight movement from Hargrove's side of the room. His smirk widened, twisting into something darker, something reckless. "Is that all?" he suddenly interrupted, his voice cutting through the courtroom like a blade. The judge frowned. "Mr. Hargrove, you will remain silent." But he didn't. Instead, he stood. And in that moment, everything began to unravel. "Let's not pretend," he said loudly, his eyes locked onto Maya. "You think anyone here believes you? You're just playing soldier, hiding behind a badge that doesn't mean anything in the real world." Gasps rippled through the room. Maya didn't react. That only made him angrier. "You walk in here like you're some kind of hero," he continued, stepping forward now, ignoring the guards. "But I see right through it. Sit down," the judge barked. But Hargrove laughed. And then, before anyone could stop him, he moved. Fast. Too fast. He lunged across the space, his hand swinging toward Maya with raw, uncontrolled force. The impact echoed. A sharp, shocking sound that froze the room in an instant. For a split second, time stopped. No one moved. No one spoke. Even Hargrove seemed stunned by what he had just done. Maya's head had turned slightly from the force, but she didn't fall. She didn't stumble. Slowly, she turned back. And when she looked at him again, something had changed. Not fear. Not anger. Something colder. Something calculated. The guards rushed forward, grabbing Hargrove, dragging him back as chaos erupted. Voices overlapped, the judge shouting orders, people standing, cameras flashing. But Maya remained still. Silent. Watching. And then, through the noise, a new sound emerged. A voice. Calm. Authoritative. "Step aside." The courtroom doors had opened, and the FBI had arrived. 2 agents walked in, followed by several more, their presence instantly commanding the room. Conversations died mid-sentence. Even the judge hesitated. The lead agent stepped forward, holding up a badge. "We're taking jurisdiction." Confusion spread like wildfire. "On what grounds?" the judge demanded. The agent didn't hesitate. "On federal charges that were not disclosed to this court." Every head turned toward Hargrove. For the first time, his confidence cracked. "What are you talking about?" he snapped, struggling against the guards. The agent's gaze didn't waver. "Daniel Hargrove, you are now under investigation for crimes that extend far beyond this courtroom. And thanks to Officer Carter." He paused, glancing at Maya. "We have everything we need." The room went silent again. But this time, it wasn't tension. It was realization. This trial had never been the full story. As Hargrove was restrained, his earlier arrogance began to crumble, replaced by something far less controlled: panic. Real, unmistakable panic. He looked at Maya, searching for something in her expression, some sign that this was still a game he could manipulate. But she gave him nothing. Because she had known. From the very beginning, she had known. Months earlier, Maya had been assigned to a case that didn't officially exist. No paperwork, no public record. Just a quiet directive passed through military channels and confirmed by federal intelligence. Hargrove wasn't just dealing arms. He was part of something bigger. Something international. In the courtroom, it had been a stage. A controlled environment designed to draw him out, to make him feel safe enough, to make a mistake. And he had. The assault wasn't just an act of rage. It was the final piece. The moment that triggered federal intervention. The moment that turned suspicion into certainty. Back in the courtroom, the FBI agents began moving with precision, securing documents, speaking quietly into radios, coordinating actions that had clearly been planned long before today. The judge, now fully aware of the situation's gravity, stepped back. This court will recess indefinitely. But no one was paying attention anymore. All eyes were on Hargrove as he was pulled toward the doors, his resistance fading with each step. "This isn't over," he shouted, his voice cracking. "You don't know who you're dealing with." The lead agent stopped, turned, and said something that sent a chill through the entire room. "Oh, we do." A pause. Then, quietly, "That's why we're here." Outside, the media had already gathered, cameras waiting, reporters hungry for any detail. But what they didn't know, what they couldn't know yet, was how deep this went. Because Hargrove wasn't the end. He was just the beginning. And as Maya stepped out of the courtroom, the weight of everything settled in. She had done her job. But the war behind the scenes? That was far from over. One of the agents approached her. "You handled that well," he said. She nodded once. "What happens now?" He looked toward the vehicles where Hargrove was being loaded in. "Now?" he said. "We start pulling the thread." Maya followed his gaze, and for the first time, allowed herself a breath. Because she knew exactly what that meant. This case, this moment, this explosion of chaos in a courtroom. It was about to expose something far bigger than anyone had imagined. And somewhere out there, people who thought they were untouchable were about to learn just how wrong they were. If you want, I can continue this story into part 2 with deeper conspiracies, international twists, and a shocking betrayal angle.